quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. Right out of the gates, here's Smith. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive.
Well, they certainly took a shot to open this game. I know it backfired with the interception, but no lack of bravado from that sideline at all. And look, they told us before the ball game, they wanted to be a little more dangerous on offense. They wanted to take a few more chances. That opening pass certainly set a tone. Maybe a turnover, but I don't think it'll stop them from trying again the rest of this game.
And oh, right away, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So a rocky start on both sides offensively. Turnovers exchanged.
I saw what you did there.
What'd I do? Rocky. Too rocky.
I saw that. I got it. And, and right now, they're carrying it around like they are wearing boxing gloves. If we're going to have that kind of a reference, they've got to get it together and start playing a little bit better ball.
He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28. This defense for the Saints, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
And I think our statistician ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers his team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope they'll recover.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And his kick here is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They fumbled the last time they had the football. Fortunate that it only led to a field goal. 3-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing in the line of scrimmage.
44. Here we go.
Now on 2nd and 13, Dalton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Now keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense. Everybody wants a piece of that pie.
A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the 1st down.
They find some open. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, New Orleans. What do coaches tell us all the time, CD? We've got to get our playmakers more involved, and certainly running with the football is one way, and it paid off right there.
And you're talking about paying off to great effect. How about the big explosive play that was a result of that play call? Big-time execution on that one.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. He lets it fly for Lockett. And incomplete on the deep ball.
The one thing we certainly know, he likes to take those risks deep downfield during games, coverage or not. The coverage was there on that one. No catch, but he's also fortunate. No turnover either.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, it's Walker. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Marcus Davenport, the 1st rounder out of UTSA with a sack. The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on to punt for the 1st time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Receiver back to Ohio State turned out an NFL-ready deep threat this year in Olave, who New Orleans jumped up to get at number 11. The Saints learned last year they need another defense breaker in their receiver room to allow a little bit of space to throw underneath. Sub 4.4 speed and a history of turning deep routes into touchdowns made Chris Olave their guy, and he gets them the first down.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The Saints had 2-2 through the first 4 weeks of the season. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He can have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll fake it. Now Smith steps away. He lets it fly for Lockett. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Rocky start throwing the football. He's missed now on his first 4 attempts.
I'm eager to see what his demeanor is going to be from this point forward, because the best ones, they missed the first 15 attempts, and they think they're going to hit the next 15. Let's see if he has that type of an attitude.
From the 50, it's Smith. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. And now that brings up 4th down there. A loss of 6 yards on the sack. The Seahawks send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking it about the 16. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's 1 interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Well, and I saw the pressure coming out, and that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
After the interception, here's Smith. And he's got the speedster Goodwin. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Here's Walker. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Here's Smith. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. They'll run for it. It's Walker. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Walker with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 10-7.
Saints 7.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Dalton. He completes it to Olave. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
Good for the Saints.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Passing, it's Dalton. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
And they're using Matt in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
A 1st down throw coming for Dalton. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. Now for the point after. It's good to make it 17-7.
Makes the score Seahawks 17, Saints 7.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And no thought to bring this one out. They'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage. And that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
It's another first down as they bite off 23 more on that one.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
93, 52, 93, 44, 44.
Andy Dalton. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, two hands. Get two hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now Gino. The catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
First down, Seattle.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their...
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
At their own 15-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
On 2nd and 10, Dalton. Thomas brings it, and now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Following the fumble recovery, Smith. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And the Saints are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown out a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. This looks like a roughing call. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
93, 52, 93, 44, 44, 2, move. Here we go, 10.
Now Dalton. And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all. I understand why they look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
368.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Dalton. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Well, it hasn't been a banner first half for the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Dalton. Got an open man. It's Olave. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
For the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that a 3rd down, that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Another chance for Dalton. Touchdown, Saints. Michael Thomas in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Lutz good on the extra point. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. 4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. It's a squibber picked up around the 27.
Rashad Penny on the return. The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The final shot here before break. Smith. Deep ball for Goodwin. And this is caught inside the 5. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
23-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And here's Kamara on the read option. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. Here comes the Saints punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
Okay, ready?
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Here's Walker to start the drive. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints' 42. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Goodwin able to haul it in. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown! DK Metcalf. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Seahawks have recovered. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half. And down 3 scores, a lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
Back to Walker on first down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the third quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Well, definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10. They'll try and run, Walker. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That'll back them up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. So on 4th down, Pete Carroll's going to call out his field goal unit. And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further. They come through with 3 after forcing the turnover. But CD, second half, you're starting inside the red zone. Obviously, they would have liked 6 out of that.
Absolutely, because that's all you're thinking is how do you get it into the end zone? You want the field goal to be the last resort. In this case, they gave it a great try, but did have to settle for 3.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home? Destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Tariq Woolen picks it. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
On 1st down, it's Smith. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That was nice work there defensively to force the incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Straight ahead, Walker. And some space here. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 71 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
2nd and 5 now. Smith, they'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And the Seahawks are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
A give for Walker running right. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and goal from the 1. Walker once more, but he will lose yardage here. Back to the 4-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Play action. It's Smith. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. A great play there with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. The extra point splits the uprights, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
Dalton's throw caught by Olave. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Dalton. That's Olave bringing in another one. And he'll be brought down at the 27. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And again, Andy Dalton to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one, maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
Dalton now to pass. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Seahawks force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before it could even get started. The play over before it really got started thanks to Pete Warner.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the... And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so, and there's your end result right there.
All right, let's see what Dalton can do after the fumble recovery. Yeah, this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
52-93, 44. Nice.
Here's Dalton. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away. Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Great. 2-2. Move.
Big 4th down here. It's Dalton. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Marcus May with a pick. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. And they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it now. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do?
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
2-2. Move. 368.
Dalton. And now here is another interception. Tariq. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. And the
the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago.
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Seahawks are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Smith going to throw it. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Pete Werner
able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Geno now to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. And taken at the 46. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10.
Here you go, Cam. Regular.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this is caught inside the 5. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. And Dalton to throw. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. The touchdown all set up by the big play 1 snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? Big pass play. Got the momentum going, right? That's you create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass.
And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 92% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Throwing now, Smith.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as
and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw here, Dolp. And now here is another interception. Jonathan Abram picks it. CD, this defense, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off the pass.
From the gun, it's Walker.
Oh, he bowls over him. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. It happened in the NFL. The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was up.
And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome. Put a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Seahawks, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.
I'm the best, I'm the best, and I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get my go, go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold. I'm the best, I'm the best, and I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get my go, go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold. For the prank and they know I'm in prison. He wanna talk, but he not on the schedule. I ain't taking no from my who ain't heavy. I'm the best, and you heard what I said. Spend all the money, I'm dripping, it's falling. Got on it, then it's dripping like water. Teaching like, but I don't have a daughter. I know me, I can get when I call it. Working big, and it don't hurt the break, cause I'ma always do it how I wanna do it. Every time he lead a do it, Mr. Know I got him running to it. I'ma need to pull the mail before we talk it that I'm waking up and thumbing through it. Run a like a runner do it. Stun on her till like a stunner do it.
It's that hate, boy. Yeah, my day ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. It's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. Tell them line it up. Like a 4th and 1, we sneaky when we slide them. Y'all on offense with no defense, now y'all time is up. We make the hits, y'all take the hits, and now we fired up. 3, 2, 1, don't need no break. Hut 1, hut 2, get it straight, that's how I like it. And we grind it every night to make it hit, now it's exciting. See, they just getting cake, they ain't never gonna get no ice. And I